Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy V, the 4-job Fiesta for TnV Small Critter Rescue. It's time for our party to head up the right side of the 4th tower, or I could more appropriately say, for half of the party to head up the right side of the tower. So TnV and Faris are heading up this side. It'll be a little bit easier than the side that Lenna and Cara had to go up. Because fighting is pretty easier than magic, because pretty much every class can do some fighting, but not all fighting classes can use magic, so you're really stuck with a lack of offensive magic on the other side. But luckily that won't be a problem against the boss. So, and we won't have any problem with these guys. Terrain works fine. As you can see, I put both of my characters in the back row so they take half damage from physical attacks, because they're mainly going to be using their terrain to deal damage, and that's not affected by row. I also gave TnV the Guardian dagger to help increase his chances of parrying an attack. So between that and the Elf Cape, should be able to avoid physical attacks for the most part, which is good because when we get to the boss of this area, all he's going to do is use physical attacks. So, unfortunately, in battle we won't be able to use magic, but we can use magic outside of battle. So we'll be able to heal with white magic before getting into battles. But once we're in the battles, we're gonna have to rely on the high potions. So, but we're pretty much, I think we're have max high potions. We might be like one short, but they give you a Defender's Sword there in case you got the Excalibur Sword. Excalibur is holy, and the boss here coming up is, he absorbs holy, so they give you one last sword to help take him out. In case you only have the Excalibur Sword and you need a quick sword that is non-holy elemental, there you go. So the game was nice, it thought about that for you. So yeah, a lot of thinking must have went into this game, because like I said, with all the abilities you can get, you can beat the game basically really low level, just because of if you use the right abilities and right classes. So they doing a lot to like his balance. So we'll heal ourselves up here, and remember when we were in the pyramid, that Sekhmet guy was like, "Hey, my brother, he'll meet you in the tower." Well, we're about to meet the brother right here, Minotaurus. So, you just initiate the fight with him. You let the others know to take the spell at the same time, because if we don't, then apparently the place is going to explode. Although the place kind of explodes anyway, but I will actually show that off. But so we got a physical attacker here. Once again, we're just going to see you can't use white magic in here, so we're just going to rely on our terrain. Faris is going to be the major damage dealer, because she has higher magic power. So her terrain is going to do a little bit more than what TnV's would do, about like 300 to 400 more damage. So occasionally we can also have TnV dance, maybe hoping to get a sword dance. A sword dance would actually do a little bit more than his Gale Cut wind, but we'll see. So, like I said, this not a really difficult battle. Like I said, the main thing is to keep your characters in the back row, and that really, like I said, they take half damage if they do get hit. Heal with high potions when necessary, and equip stuff like Elf Capes, Guardian Knives to increase the chance to avoid attacks. But yeah, this guy, like I said, magic is useless on this side, so when we actually defeat this guy, he's going to try to have a final counterattack, casting the Holy Spell, which is the most powerful white magic spell, but you can't use magic in battle here, so he'll try to cast it, and it'll be ineffective. So, we don't have to worry about this guy's final attack. Now the other boss on the other side, though, he has a final attack as well, but his final attack actually works. It's a magic final attack. He casts the ultimate black magic, Flare. But there's several ways to deal with that. You can have reflex status on your characters. You can maybe have a character who, like a bard, can hide when the flare comes out. A Dragoon could jump in the air to avoid it. You can cast Shell to reduce the damage that Flare does. But we're going to take care of it a different way. So we got the Ultimate White Magic Holy. Now we can finally start, we can probably take out those Shield Dragons and X that souls and cruise our castle. But we have to grab this before the place explodes. So just want to check our characters here. Make sure that Lenna got the chicken knife. That'll be our main source of damage. So how are we going to damage this guy? You know, with physical attacks. We're going to cast the Mute Sword on with Lenna. So every time that she attacks Omniscient here, he'll be muted. If you attack him with a physical attack, he casts the Reset spell, which takes you back to the beginning of the battle. It's a time magic. But since he's muted, he can't cast that, so... And pretty much all the spells he's going to be casting now are going to be totally useless, because we're going to keep him on lockdown, on mute lockdown. So, if you have Reflect, if you went to the Mirage Town, the town hidden in the Collective Dimensions, you can get the Dispel spell, it's white magic, and that removes all its, like, status and buffing spells on a character or an enemy. So, if you have that spell, you can just cast that on Omniscient, and then that will take off the regen. You'll see he keeps regenerating hit points there so often, and as long as he's not regenerating hit points, he'll eventually just end up defeating himself, because he'll cast spells on you. But you have to get rid of that regen, because if he initially he only casts like low-level spells, and the regen will out-heal the damage that those low-level spells do. Now once he gets down to the lower part, like I think at 25% of his hit points, he starts casting the level 3 tier spells, and those, if they reflect off him, they, you know, they're too much damage, so we don't have to worry about that. But and at the end, he tries to counterattack with the Flare Magic, but, you know, we had him muted, so it didn't matter. Even if you weren't muted, we had a wall spell up on both our characters, so... So I guess the tower doesn't explode, but it does disappear. I will, however, show what happens if we don't grab the spells on time. So, basically what ends up happening is, you just get taken back to the... You have a few seconds. If you don't grab the spell, then you're taken back to the beginning. Back to the beginning of the game, so... Or the start menu, so... You have to restart from wherever your last save is, which would be outside that tower, hopefully. Because there's no save points in the tower. But now that the thing is disappeared, the tower's disappeared, we can actually head into the catapult here. And remember what Mid said? Mid said that Sid was trapped underneath. So if you go back to Crescent and talk with Mid, he doesn't say anything new even after the tower disappears. So that's why I didn't go back there. But he rescued Sid from that wheel that he was spinning on. And he said he found a book that will allow him to turn the airship into a submarine. So now we'll be able to explore underwater, which is good because there's a few places underwater, including another tablet dungeon. So basically, when you land on the water and then you press the A button and you press down, that'll turn you into a submarine, or press up and that'll turn you into the airship. So yeah, we got access to most of the world now. There's still that North Mountain that we're not going to be able to get to because we need a black chocobo. But for the most part, we can get to pretty much anywhere we want to. So, here's the two blonde-haired grandchildren talking about their grandparents. So, Sid is still a little upset, you know, he still kind of blaming himself for everything that's happened, but he's trying to make atonement here by helping us out, making all these machines. Thank you, Sid Mid. This is where he comes out and basically says, you know, like, this is all I can really do for y'all. TnV? We can't wield swords, we can only help. The only help we can give is to improve your machines. But I believe we've done all that we can. The rest is up to you. And that's true. He's not going to be able to do anything else more for us. So, but turning into a submarine is a good thing for us. So, like I said, it gets us to this tablet that lies at the bottom. So, this is usually one of the tougher dungeons. The fourth dungeon can also be accessed by the submarine. You have to go through an underground passageway, or an underwater passageway, and then through an underground passageway. That one is usually easier than this third dungeon, but this third dungeon shouldn't be hard for us because of the Geomancers. The big issue with this dungeon coming up is the damage tiles. It's an underground volcano, so every time you step on one of the things, you're going to take 50 points of damage. But with Geomancers, we don't take that damage. So it's over there to the right, and straight north of us, a little bit further up, that is the sunken Wars Tower. Remember there was that mine who was saying that, like, back in Colin who said, like, hey, I want to go find Wars Tower. Well, now we have a submarine. We can go to the Wars Tower, the sunken Wars Tower. But first we want to meet an enemy here. It's a very rare enemy. So I'm going to do that off screen, but while I was doing that, I'll show you what happens here if you don't grab the flare spell in time. Yeah, you can walk outside and just hang out here for a little bit. Maybe about like 15 seconds or so. And the screen's going to start flashing, and if you don't grab it when it starts flashing and shaking, well, it's just going to give you, like I said, a game over and take you back to the title screen. So here we are, we're back where we ended up. You'll know you're in the right area when you can see that little tower in the northwest, and the enemies that you're running into are enemies from the first world. So you got sea hags, sea abises, thunder amones. If you're getting run into those enemies, you're in the right area. Because you want to meet up with this guy, the Stingray. So this is the one that he casts the Big Guard spell, one of the best blue magics in the game. It gives you a whole bunch of buffs. Float, shell, armor. I think it also gives you haste. So yeah, if you tempt him with a tempting tango or confuse him, charm him, you can cast the Big Guard spell on you. That's the way you learn it. So the only thing is, sometimes if you charm him, he'll cast a water spell on himself, and that'll heal him up pretty good. Luckily, I'm showing off the holy spell here. Let's say, luckily, a lot of the terrain, the tsunami and big tsunami, they're not considered water. So, but the tidal wave that he casts is considered water. So he unfortunately healed himself up there a little bit. So we have to fight him a little bit longer here, but we end up taking him down. Get no experience, but get a lot of ability points. Like I said, a lot of the monsters in the sea here have basically give no experience points, but give a ton of ability points. So here's the sunken Wars Tower. We're going to heal ourselves up here. Yeah, that thing can, Stingray can poison us with the Fin spell, or it's just fin attack. But we can heal ourselves up with an antidote, or heal spell with the antidote spell. And now we're going to head into the Wars Tower, the Sunken Wars Tower. Now, the interesting thing about the Sunken Wars Tower is there's a timer. We get a timer because we're kind of breathing underwater. We're holding our breath underwater. We don't want to breathe underwater. So, our characters are pretty good. I mean, they can hold their breath for 7 minutes. And not just like hold their breath for 7 minutes while doing nothing. They hold their breath for 7 minutes while exerting themselves, including getting into fights. Walking around. So yeah, pretty funny that they just we have to walk around here. We can't just swim down. Figure with the holes there, we can just swim right down, but nope, we have to take the staircases. Now, if you get into a fight, you just want to run because time keeps going on even when you're fighting. So yeah, the timer just keeps going. If you don't get out in 7 minutes, well, you drown and you're taken back to the title screen. Now, there's that one treasure chest. If you have a lot of time, like more than 5 minutes, you don't have to grab that treasure chest. just grab it on the way up. That's what I'm going to do here. I made good time coming down here to get to the boss here. Go, the famous Mimic. He'll actually become a party member in the next Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy VI. So he basically tells us the key is to imitate. He'll watch us and do what we do. So I'm going to show off what happens if you fight him or cast magic on him. Like he says here, if you fight, he fights. If you use magic, he does magic. And his fighting ability and his magic ability are so much stronger than ours. So you can actually defeat this guy with damage, but you have to have a special setup to do it. Basically, you have to like abuse the rapid fire ability, which allows you to attack 4 times in a row. Maybe Spell Blade, a Flare, Flare Blade, because that does extra damage. And then use the Quick Spell, which gives you 2 turns in a row. And you can basically hit him 8 times in a row with the Flare Sword. And I should be able to take him down. But if you hit him with physical attack, he basically just hits you for like 9,999. If you hit him with magic, he counters with the Flare Spell and knocks you out like that. So, yeah, you do this, he just will massacre you. So the key to this battle is just do absolutely nothing. Yeah, so we just sit here. Yeah, if we do a little over 6,000 with each of those flare sword hits, we'll be able to, you can, like I said, be able to take him out. Like I said, you use the quick spell, gives you 2 turns in a row. Rapid shot to do 4 attacks a turn, so you get 8 turns right in a row before you can even respond. So that's a way to beat him, but with the Fiesta restrictions, we don't have the job setups to do that. You have to get a really special job because the Time Mage and the Magic Knight are both water crystals, so you have to like do one of the special rules where you can get random jobs. So basically, if you do absolutely nothing for like a minute, for like about 2.5 minutes, he basically says, "Hey, you know, congrats! You did nothing, so I did nothing. You're great mimics because you mimicked me, and I did nothing." And with that, he basically says that we deserve this crystal shard, which gives us a bonus job at the mimic. The mimic is kind of like the freelancer job, but instead of the fight command, you get the mimic command. And then you can attach other commands to it. And the bonus that the Mimic command has over, like, say, the Fight command is Mimic will copy the last action in battle with no cost. So if you use, say, an elixir in battle, then you can mimic that and you'll use another elixir, but it won't cost an elixir out of your inventory. Let's say your character does something like really interesting. Say he has that like 4 hits with rapid fire. The next person can just mimic that, and they will do the rapid fire, or cast like spells or something. Say like the flare, holy. So there's some use for mimics. But I'm gonna show off this treasure chest here real quick. It doesn't count toward the treasure completion, but you can just grab it, and it gives you some air bubbles. So it gives you, it restarts the timer. And I'm just going to, off-screen, going back into the submarine here. I'm going to rise up. And then save the game. So we're going to use our submarine to go to that 3rd tablet dungeon in the next episode. And then hopefully clear it out. So take care, have a good one. See you in the next episode. Thanks for following along. Bye.